it may have been before that time we saw them there. Suge was in New York City with Eric B, Big D, Chaz, Zip, and some more people. All of them was at the Mirage. You understand? And the reason why we know they was there with them, because Haitian Jack called Puff on the line and told Puff that, yo, all those cats was out there partying with Suge Knight. They was there to set up the Death Row East Coast. Eric B had said, this is before Hit 'Em Up came out. Eric B had said that Pac had to find a way to talk about the dudes that he was talking about, and he can't say that, you know, all New York niggas, because Pac was saying, New York niggas like this, that. So he wanted them to address who he was talking about. And I don't know if they had hit him up before then or whatever like that, and Pac put those people's names in it. But I know that that was a conversation that he had with some people. You know, he can't continue to, protect them when they come to New York like that. They're gonna make bad blood. And you doing New York Death Row East Coast, how you gonna say that New York niggas is lame or whatever? So when they had that meeting, they called Puff for a representative. Like, yo, you want somebody to represent you? Because we're going to try to squash this shit and get this shit, just about making money or whatever like that. And Puff wasn't giving nobody the okay. He wouldn't give Zip the okay, Chaz, or nobody the okay to represent him in one of those meetings. He didn't want to have nothing to do with it.
Tupac's fiance, man, before he passed away, Kadada Jones, the incident with her and Puffy, what exactly happened with that, yo?
I don't think it was an incident. It was just a situation. We were at either How I Could Be Down or it was Jack the Rapper, one of them. And they was giving Producer of the Year. Puff didn't want to leave because he thought he was going to be the Producer of the Year. And he took one of the pictures, after we had drunk on one, he took one of the pictures, I think the picture of ginger ale or whatever like that, and he poured in the water pitcher or something like that. And then he went up under the table and he urinated in the pitcher, right? With the ice and stuff in it still. He urinated in the pitcher. And Quincy Jones' daughter, I think it's Kadada Jones or whatever like that, she came to the table. And she was just talking to Puff, everything like that. She was talking to Puff. And then next thing you know, she reached over to grab the pitcher and poured her a glass of ginger pea. You know what I mean? Like that. And she was about to drink it, and Wolf stopped her from doing it. She said, no, you don't want to drink that, you don't want to drink that, stuff like that. And stopped. She said, why? Nobody said nothing, but he had pissed in the damn ginger ale or whatever like that in that same bottle, and she was about to drink it. And then I didn't know at first that she was the one who did the vibe party where Big got killed at. He said that he didn't tell Pac because Pac was the type of dude that he would have went back and told those dudes that he told. So he didn't want the beef because those dudes were some serious dudes back then. You know, you talking about Johnny, Tut, Scooter. They also had Haitian Jack was running with them. So Scooter was one of those dudes that had Brooklyn on smash, parts of Brooklyn on smash, because everybody got their different areas. And Scooter was a serious dude back then. So if he would have said anything about those dudes, Big wasn't strong like that in the streets where they couldn't get at him.
Yeah, Gene Deal said something interesting. So first he said, the dude asked him about Jada Pinkett and Jasmine Guy trying to come up with the money for bail for Tupac. And that they had went to Biggie and asked Biggie if he could come up with some of that $3 million bail money to get Pac out. And Biggie said that he couldn't because he was broke. Now, what's interesting about him being broke is, in a previous thing, Gene Deal said that Biggie was broke because he was in a fucked up management deal with the people that got him signed to Bad Boy. And that Big had to sign over his fucking publishing to Puffy so that he could get some more money. And so that Big was signing a lot of shit under alias names. Remember how kind of like Prince used to sign his name as Jamie Starr and shit like that? Well, Big had figured that out and started doing the same thing because he didn't want Puff to know he was writing a Junior Mafia album. And he was getting that publishing because Puffy owned his publishing. Big was getting that publishing money to build his mama a house. So when Big died, Big was broke. When Big died, Big was broke. If you notice that similar story, Tupac was broke too. That's why he couldn't bail himself out of jail. Tupac was taking care of his whole family. You know what I mean? He just didn't have any bread. He didn't have that kind of bread. What I think is interesting is in another previous interview I heard with Danny Boy has said Suge and Puffy used to talk on the phone all the time. Mm-hmm. I thought that was interesting. I thought they fucking hated each other. First of all, Suge, allegedly, your man got killed by Puffy's man, and Puffy gave a hit. Jermaine Dupri said that, and multiple sources, including the ex-president of Bad Boy Records, Kirk Burroughs, said that Puffy ordered that hit. My thing is this then. Gene Deal said, if I recall correctly, Suge Knight laid the blueprint. Mm-hmm. He said, why? He said, because a few months earlier, Tupac had got killed. And then he said, how many times did All Eyes on Me and Machiavelli go platinum? He said, All Eyes on Me went 10 times platinum after Pac's death. And Machiavelli sold like 4 million, eventually ended up going diamond. Not platinum, but diamond. Mm-hmm. He said, so when Puffy seen that, he said, you don't know what kind of exchanges Puffy and Suge was having, in my opinion, that Danny Boy was referencing. And you wonder if there wasn't some sort of strange competition on who was going to get the most money first. And Pac being killed, Suge owned Pac's publishing for those albums because it was called Joshua Tree Publishing. Mm-hmm. And Pac signed over his publishing. That's why he was going to start his own label. Then after Biggie got killed, and the fact that Puffy owned Biggie's publishing already, and the fact that Biggie was producing shit for Junior Mafia and Lil' Kim and shit, Big was pissed. I noticed right after Big died, Puff and Lil' Kim got real close. Puff was producing for Lil' Kim, and I remember an old interview with Lil' Caesar was like, why you still fucking with him, man? You know what I'm saying? We don't need that nigga. And Kim was like, nah, we do. He's the only one that's going to get us to the next level. Big is gone. And something in my heart told me them two niggas was killed for their publishing.
I was a light-skinned nigga looked something like you. Store busting.
I was a light-skinned nigga looked something like you. Store busting. That's what Gaddafi told me.